Imagine you are living in a nation where smiling at the wrong moment can lead to death, where children are instructed to pray to someone higher than their parents, a place where hunger is considered normal, freedom knows no bounds, and even your ideas can be your downfall. This is no pretense. This is Kim Jong-un's North Korea, a prison state created by a man whose authority is based on terror, torture, and absolute domination. From murders in the streets with anti-aircraft guns to unimaginable death camp labor facilities, this regime doesn't punish, it exterminates the human spirit. Today we reveal the shocking truth behind the world's most reclusive dictatorship and the horrific brutality of the man at its helm. Since Kim Jong-un's rise to power, punishment in North Korea has extended far beyond imprisonment, often becoming a spectacle of unimaginable brutality. The regime uses brutal, medieval-style executions not only to eliminate enemies, but to instill deep fear among citizens. One of the most horrific techniques involves shooting an anti-aircraft gun into committing murder in front of a large crowd. Defectors have described how entire squads of soldiers must sit through these executions, reminding them of the price of disobedience. Another horrific technique is death by flamethrower, which is reportedly used to punish officers accused of treason or betrayal. Protesters are tied up and set on fire. There are reports of killings by stray dogs, although they are unfounded, where enemies of the state are allegedly thrown into cages with hungry dogs. Internationally disputed, the credibility of these stories also shows the depth of Kim's brutal reputation. In addition to public executions, forced starvation, physical torture, sleep deprivation, and being locked in tiny cells are common in political prison camps. Even suspects of minor crimes, such as watching South Korean dramas, are imprisoned in prison. The punishment can be life imprisonment or death. These harsh punishments are not merely weapons of discipline, but a means of intimidation. It is deliberately designed to establish complete dominance over the minds and bodies of the North Korean people and to eliminate any resistance. Kim Jong-un is not only a brutal dictator for the common people of North Korea, but he also presents an extremely controlled image of his family life. Very little is actually known about his relationship with his wife, Ri Sol-ju, and that secrecy says it all. Kim Jong-un's marriage to Ri Sol-ju may have been publicly confirmed, but it remains one of the most secretive and carefully controlled aspects of his private life. In the rest of the world, a first lady is a public figure, someone who stands with the leader, participates in social work, and is part of the national story. But in North Korea, Ri Sol-ju is a symbol, not a spouse, sometimes shown in sneak peeks, then faded out of sight. Ri Sol-ju was originally introduced in 2012, but even then, it was only after strict censorship and concealment of her background. She was said to have been a singer with North Korea's Unhasu Orchestra, a fact the regime quickly deleted from formal records. Her history, education, and family life have been almost completely censored and covered up through state-fabricated stories aimed at matching the image Kim Jong-un wants to present. What makes their relationship so disturbing is not just the secrecy, but also the reports of alleged violence and purges against their close relatives. According to the CIA and intelligence sources, Ri Sol-ju's uncle, a high-ranking military official, and other family members were killed on Kim's orders, reportedly to eliminate any influence or potential threat from their lineage. These measures indicate that even his own wife is not immune to the paranoid domination that characterizes his rule. Furthermore, her long periods of absence from the public eye, sometimes for more than a year, have been a cause for concern. In a country where women have no platform or voice, and where those who dissent against the regime are killed, Ri Sol-ju's silence is probably not of her own making. Her presence is choreographed, smiling, warmly dressed, and approving, but secretly she must be kept under surveillance. She must have no real freedom of movement or expression. This is not a union based on love or partnership. It is a relationship based on power, pressure, and image control. Even in the heart of his residence, Kim Jong-un exercises sadistic dominance, relating to his wife not as a partner, but as a prop in a political drama. One of Kim Jong-un's most brutal methods of control is to completely isolate North Korea from the world. This is not a political ploy. This is national psychological imprisonment used to suppress knowledge and rebellion and enforce blind loyalty to the state. North Koreans are forbidden to leave the country without government permission, and they almost never do. Trying to escape is considered treason and can result in torture, death, or life imprisonment, not just for the fugitive, but sometimes for his entire family under the 3 generations punishment rule. This cruel tactic means that those seeking freedom have to bring misery to their loved ones along with their escape. Foreign media is banned in the country. Internet is completely banned for common citizens. Neither Facebook, nor YouTube, nor TikTok, nor any entertainment app is available. In Kim Jong-un's North Korea, psychological intimidation is as effective as physical brutality. The regime controls not just what people do, it controls what they think, what they fear, and what they feel, making total submission to the supreme leader a matter of survival, not a choice. Since childhood, North Koreans learn to worship Kim Jong-un as a god. Schools don't learn mathematics or history like the rest of the world. They learn about the miracles of the Kim dynasty. Children are forced to memorize propaganda, sing songs of praise, and even ask the leader for blessings when they eat, even if they starve to death. All homes are forced to have pictures of Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il, and Kim Il-sung, and they are cleaned every day. If a fire breaks out, saving the pictures is more important than saving your own family. Failure to show proper respect to these images can result in arrest or even the death penalty. Perhaps the most horrifying practice is forced mourning in public. When Kim Jong-il died, citizens were forced to cry hysterically in public. Those who did not appear miserable enough were punished. Some were even sent to labor camps. Even within prisons, guards would mentally abuse prisoners, forcing them to falsely confess their crimes or watch others being tortured. The terror of stepping on any whispered word and risking death or disappearance traps citizens in silent fear. This is not mere control, it is slavery of the mind. While the rest of the world is rapidly advancing towards technology, freedom, and possibilities, North Korea remains trapped in a dark bubble, sealed away by the iron hand of Kim Jong-un. North Koreans live without the internet, foreign news, social media, or any knowledge of how the rest of the world works. Most have never seen a smartphone, a supermarket, or an airplane. Electricity is scarce. Satellite images at night show North Korea as dark, surrounded by lights from China and South Korea. While humans stream Netflix or browse YouTube, North Koreans watch compulsive propaganda films and sing praise songs about a man who starves them. This radical paradox is no accident, it's intentional. Kim fears his identity being exposed. A South Korean film or an entire USB drive full of foreign music could spark curiosity, rebellion, or escape. This is why possession of foreign media is punishable by death or life imprisonment. Some of Kim Jong-un's greatest cruelty is seen in the North Korean labor camps. North Korea's Kwanli-so, or forced labor camps, are among the most abhorrent tools of repression at Kim Jong-un's disposal. They are clandestine prison colonies with about 80,000 to 120,000 people imprisoned in them, sometimes without so much as a trial or judicial proceeding. The specialty of these camps is that the principle of 3 generations punishment applies here. If someone is accused of disloyalty or defection, his or her parents, spouse, and children are also in prison. Collective punishment means that entire families are gripped by fear. Prisoners in the camps face daily physical abuse, hunger, and hard physical labor, sometimes digging in coal mines, chopping wood, or doing construction work with their bare hands and without supervision. Prisoners work 12 to 16 hours a day, regardless of age or health. Malnutrition is widespread. Food consists of maize with worms, salty soup, or grass. Most deaths are from disease, exhaustion, or beatings. There is no way out of it physically or mentally. The prisoners are routinely beaten to death by the guards. There are public executions and rule enforcement by incredible brutality. Women are frequently raped, and pregnant women prisoners are occasionally forced to abort, particularly if they suspect that the father of the child is a foreigner. The most chilling aspect is that the majority of the prisoners do not even know why they are in prison. False information from a neighbor, sarcasm, or possession of an unwanted foreign object can result in life imprisonment. These camps are secret torture camps, built not only to punish but to destroy the human spirit. In a world where everyone has access to smartphones, the internet, social media, and freedom of speech, North Korea stands as a dark outlier, stuck in time and terror. Under the oppressive rule of Kim Jong-un, people are isolated from the rest of the world. International television, websites, and newspapers are not accessible. The internet is off limits to the general public. Only a limited, government-controlled intranet is available, which is tightly monitored and filled with disinformation. People around the world are communicating freely, while people in North Korea are in a surveillance state where even thoughts need to be censored. Foreign films, K-dramas, or music are banned here. Anyone caught watching South Korean dramas or listening to Western songs could be publicly sentenced to death or life imprisonment, not just for that person, but sometimes for their entire family as well. The visual contrast is frightening. At night, satellite photos reflect South Korea shining brightly with energy and life, and North Korea a dark black hole of despair, representing isolation and hopelessness. In South Korea, students learn in modern classrooms. In North Korea, kids learn to be Kim Jong-un fans and report to their parents if they pick up anything unpatriotic. Kim Jong-un, meanwhile, lives in luxury, importing wine, wristwatches, and cars, while millions of his subjects starve from famine. The contrast between the opulent lifestyle of a dictator and the hunger of his subjects is grim evidence of the wickedness of a regime based on lies, terror, and absolute domination. While the rest of the world is tweeting, streaming, shopping, and speaking out, over 25 million people are still locked behind barbed wire and terror fences. Every tear, every scream, every broken spirit in the concentration camp is proof that Kim Jong-un's administration is not only a government, it is a machinery of torture. He rules by beheading, oppresses by starvation, and deceives by lies. And yet his people must treat him like a god, smile in his suffering, and bless him for his pain. This is worse than dictatorship. It is a humanitarian nightmare masquerading as military parades and smiling propaganda. And as long as the world remains silent, this nightmare will continue, one life at a time, one generation at a time. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you get more exciting videos on the world's most dangerous and mysterious places. Goodbye.